And a jolly good morning and welcome to the beautiful Polish city of Poznan. And today I'm just going to do a walk around the city via a couple of parks and into the old town area. Probably a total walking time of about 2 hours, which will undoubtedly get condensed down on this video to about 15-20 minutes. Starting off just near Poznań Główny, or the central station. Just over the road there is a park here, Karola something. I can't quite remember the full name of it without putting this down and having a look. Going through to the best described as Citadel Park, and then carry on round via the river that runs through Poznan here into the old town. So let's see where we get to, let's see what we see, and enjoy the walk today. Poznan, incidentally, has got a very good network of trams and buses, also Uber available here if you want to take a long walk in one direction and transport yourself back to wherever you're staying. Most people tend to stay in the old town area because it's very picturesque down there with some nice old buildings and nice market squares. Markets different times of the year. They have Christmas markets as well, obviously in end of November, December time. And it's a very pleasant place actually. So this is the middle of summer and it's a Sunday, so I'll see what's happening in Poznan on a Sunday morning. Does quite astound me on the continent how you can just pretty much walk straight off the road onto the railway line without any fences or anything to stop you. It just wouldn't work in Britain somehow, I don't think. So there you go. Easy peasy. Straight up these steps from that path down there. Anyway, let's carry on the walk. Soon at the park. What are these Lime electric scooters all about? You see them everywhere. Just kind of abandoned or parked up in any place. Amazing. They must go missing quite a lot. Well, we're here. First stop, or first major place of interest on this walk. I'm going to spend a bit of time now having a little look around here and see what's happening here this morning. Like I said before, it's Sunday morning, and Sunday mornings do tend to be quite quiet and laid back in Poland. There's not too much rushing about. Family time, I guess, and expect certainly later on, when it's a little bit later in the day, lots of families up here in the park enjoying this sunshine. This is certainly lovely and quiet this morning in here. I was in Berlin a few months ago, and on a Sunday morning, at this kind of time, I went to walk around a park there called Görlitzer Park. And of course, I mean, Berlin is a completely different city to somewhere like Poznan. But the state of that park in Berlin really was, it was a really sorry affair with drug dealers and junkies and all sorts of nefarious goings on a Sunday morning. So I dread to think what it was like any other time. In fact, just for taking a picture, inadvertently capturing who turned out to be a drug dealer in my picture, I almost got chased out the park, and some other guy actually did. Some old fella that was walking his dog. Anyway, that's another video about Berlin. If you're interested, go and have a look. It's called something like the grittier parts of Berlin, but it's not all about that park, and it's certainly not a park I'd want to spend any great amount of time in. Anyway, that's enough about one sorry area of Berlin. The rest of the city is wonderful. I love Berlin, it's a fantastic place. But that park needs sorting out, but Germany, come on. This place, however, is really nice, and for those of you that like tanks and so on, get yourselves down here. I'm going to spend a bit of time now having a little look at what's on display here. I expect there's actually a museum here. I haven't actually seen the signs for it yet. I have a feeling it might well be closed today. That's worth checking up if you're interested in military stuff. Well, if I'm reading this correctly, it's open every day, the Museum of Armament, and according to the sign at least, it says it's open from 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning. It's now 10:30 on a Sunday morning and doesn't appear to be open, so Not entirely sure why that's the case, but that's, I guess, going to be worth 12 zloty of anybody's money to go in and have a look. It's open all week as well. In fact, it appears to be closed on a Monday. Yeah, Monday to Saturday, 10 till 17, varying hours really, and 10 till 1600 on a Sunday. Where are you? Anyway, I wasn't here to go looking around museums, I was here to go for a walk around this beautiful city. So, museum open or not, I'm going to carry on now. Of course, if you do turn up and the museum's inexplicably shut, you can always peek through this fence to see the stuff in there. Quite the same though. Anyway, I'm going to carry on just having a general stroll around this park in a clockwise direction, and eventually come to the river. And some 3/4 of the way round, I'll divert out of the park down to the Warta, which is the river that runs through Poznan. I have to say, I've noticed this in a few parks in Poland and also in Germany, one or two other places. They tend to let them grow a bit wilder than in Britain. Britain tends to be a bit more manicured, whereas here they let the grass grow a bit longer, let some weeds grow, which on the whole is not a bad thing, especially for the insects and wildlife that are around that can thrive in conditions like that. It's still a very pleasant park all the same. Quite interested to know what some of these structures here are. I'll say it's probably something to do with the military, as they've got a military museum here and a military cemetery and one or two other things along those lines. So I have a feeling this area must have been some kind of military base at some point. If I find out, I shall add it to the video. But there's a lot of these all around with grass areas on the top with trees, so presumably for camouflage purposes, but they appear to now being used as great hills to go mountain biking on, which is fabulous. I've not seen anyone actually doing it, but they do appear to be mountain bike tracks. Yeah, see, there's just this remnants of old buildings absolutely everywhere around this part of the park. I can actually find out. I shall add it into the information. Right, yes, as I expected. The Citadel is Poznan's largest park, occupying about 10,000 acres of green space in the very heart of the city. The park was established in its present form between 1963 and 1970 on the site of the former Fort Viniara, the scene of one of the most vicious battles of the Second World War. Not only is the Citadel Park of great historical value, it is also a place of unique natural beauty and a popular recreational spot, and it just goes on to explain a little bit more about that. So there we go. Yeah, so it was something to do with the war, a fort, and when I get back to my hotel later on, I shall be looking it up and finding out some more information, because it sounds like it's got a fascinating history. Yeah, absolutely well worth a visit here. Right, well, I'm just skirting around the very edges of the park now, and I'm just going to cross over the road there and head towards the river and take a walk along the river towards the old town. And the river, really, I've only really seen from a vehicle, not actually walked along it as such ever. So I'll be interested to see how nice that is. Take the walk back to the old town, which I have been to on a number of occasions and know quite well. So I'll just go for a little stroll around there when I finally get there. Just got to find my way across this road now to that area over there, and down there should be the Warta. Or at least Google Maps says the Warta should be down there. Very nice park. If you come to Poznan, spend some time in this park, especially if it's summertime when you come here. Oh, that's interesting. Here is the Warta. Got a fast flowing river. There doesn't appear to be any pathways that run directly next to the river. Certainly not on this side at the moment anyway. So I've just kind of walked through some bushes from a cycle track to come to it. It's certainly very peaceful down here. I imagine ideal for fishing too. Right, I'm going to proceed back towards the old town in that direction, and I'll see if I can get, if these cycle paths and walkways eventually meet up with the river itself, and you can actually walk along it, because that does seem to be quite a waste of a nice river if you can't walk along it anyway. It's got it all, Poznan. It's got trams. I always like a city that have got its own tram system, and cities with rivers are my two key and important items. Right, back through these bushes and back onto the proper path, and I shall see where it takes me. I'm slightly underwhelmed at the moment by the access to this river, which is really rather picturesque, it's got to be said. Seems to be kind of some walkways over the other side there. And then the river splits just over there, and I can see a few boats moored up, so I'm going to head in that direction, and hopefully it's going to be a little bit little bit more appealing. I basically just walked across a trailer park to get to this bit. That's the main railway line between Berlin and Warsaw through Poznan. So right, well, let's continue. I can see some walkways over the other side right over there, but even then it doesn't look exactly superb at the moment. So hopefully things will improve when I get along here, because actually I'm dying for a cup of coffee or something like that. So a nice little cafe by this river would go down a treat. Let's see if one can be found. Right, for this day only at least, I give up on the river walk aspect. There doesn't seem to be anywhere worth walking along at this part of it. I'm going to look into this, because I'm sure there are places where you can walk along the river, but it may be outside the city a little bit more. I'm heading off into the old town now, because I really do need a sit down and a drink for a little while, and once I get there I shall take some photographs of the beautiful old town area of Poznan. Seems to me that this was probably quite an industrial area at one time, and a lot of those old buildings there, like many places, have been turned into apartments and flats and so on. But they don't seem to have any access to the actual river itself all along there, so I'm going to give that up for today. Old town, here I come. Here we are in the heart of Poznan Old Town, and since I was last here 9 months ago, there's let's say a bit of building work and replacement of the cobblestones, I think, is mostly what's going on here. Such a shame, because hopefully this won't be like this for too long, but I've noticed all the way down here there's an awful lot of road repairs going on, and this is an absolutely beautiful square at Christmas time, with lots of German type market stalls with food. There's a lot of Polish food as well, mostly Polish food really, but on the same lines as a German one, to give you an idea. But at the moment we are walking through a building site. So I'm going to go and find one of the other squares. This is the main squares here in Poznan. Wow, I've not seen it. Incredible. Let's hope this gets sorted fairly soon, because it really is a beautiful square here, and it's not looking at its best today, I have to say. No, I'm no town planner, and I'm sure there's a really good reason for all of this, but probably economic more than anything else. But I cannot for the life of me understand why they've just dug up the entire market, or the entire square, all at the same time. I would have thought doing it in little sections would have made much less of an impact on the businesses that are around here for a shorter length of time. But this just seems crazy. If anyone's got any suggestions why you would completely and utterly dig up the whole of the square all at the same time, then let me know. But I'm quite shocked actually, because it certainly was nothing like this when I last came, and I'm sure it'll be put back to its former glory fairly quickly. Yeah, there's a few people wandering around here, a bit bemused by it all. I suppose the saving grace on a Sunday, there's none of the actual work going on, so there's no dust and flying about and machinery whirring away. Anyway, let's carry on. I'm going to find a bit of Poznan that isn't currently a building site.